Calabasas finally turned 25 and they opened a brand new senior center. Now, we have a whole bunch of celebration happening this weekend, and I'm Laura Nickerson. I'm going to be sharing that with you. Welcome to our CTV special on the opening of the senior center and the 25th anniversary celebration. The festivities began right here at the Calabasas Library, where they held a reception featuring local food and wine and some incredible authors. With author Kim Castillon, who wrote Images of America, Calabasas. Now, this is all about Calabasas history. What inspired you to write this book?
I've lived in Calabasas over 50 years. I grew up in Calabasas, went through the Las Virgenes school districts, and then I also raised my children in Hidden Hills, Calabasas, and they also went through the Las Virgenes school district. I lost my mother 2 years ago. Both my parents were very involved in Hidden Hills and Calabasas, and I wanted to dedicate something to my mother and her time spent here in the city. So I decided to do the book because I was brave enough after doing the Agora Hills book with Susan Pascal. I was her co-editor. So that's the reason for the book. I belong to the Historical Society. They were gracious enough to allow me to go into the archival room that's located here in the library. That's just a wealthy collection, goes all the way back to the late 1800s. And we were able to find photographs, ephemera, books, pictures, calendars, you name it. It was there. We went through. It took about 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it took 9 months to do. And as I was halfway through the book, James Bazagian said, I can help you with that. And he got involved, and that has just been the best. His passion for the city is incredible. And he not only knows a lot about the city and cityhood, because he wrote the chapter in the book about cityhood, he also is probably one of the most talented editors ever. He went through the book and made sure that there was no spelling errors and the grammar was correct. And it was a wonderful time spent together. And then, yeah.
Was there anything that you found throughout the course of writing this book in the history of Calabasas that surprised you?
Oh, there's some crazy stuff that happened in here. It's called the Wild West, and it is called the Wild West for a couple of reasons, but one of them was that behind the Kramer store, and this is actually, the cover, is the Kramer store that's in Old Town Calabasas, and behind that store, there was a stench, and Kramers did not know what that stench was coming from, and they went out to investigate, and they found a dead body buried behind the market, but its leg was still sticking out.
That's the grossest and most interesting story I have ever heard.
That's a gross one, but there's ghosts. There's we know that a Spiritu is in the Leonis Adobe. She walks the patio at night, and there's some crazy stories about the Wild Wild West. There were shootings. There was a hangman's tree. There was a jailhouse. You know.
Wow, we're going to have to get this book because there's a lot of really great stuff in this. Images of America, Calabasas. Kim Castillon, thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you.
They're even revealing the new designs of their 25th anniversary library cards. Take a look. What does it mean to you that the city has turned 25?
It's a great sense of history, and when you're only 25 years old, we're the youngest city in the entire area, you still have people who help form the city who are here, who can tell their stories, who can give their exhibits to our museum. We have original council members, 4 of the 5. We have 13 council members here tonight. We've only had 16 in our history. It's the most that have ever gathered in one place. What a historical night. My colleagues, in order of appearance, First in, Janice Lee, Calabasas City Council member. David Shapiro. Dennis Washburn. Karen Foley. Lucy Martin. Michael Harrison. Marvin Lapata. Fred Gaines. Barry Groveman. Mary Sue Maurer. Alicia Weintraub. And Bob Hill. Yeah, Jonathan Wolfson is not here. Bob Sibilia couldn't make it, and Leslie Devine, as you know, has passed away. Her memory lives on in some of the exhibits here.
Now, you've written a foreword to the book that's all about Calabasas history. What made you so interested in the history of the city?
I've always been interested in history. I was born and raised in the area, and I've been on the council almost 20 years. And when I was asked to write the foreword, I did it with pleasure to the Images of America Calabasas, one of the best-selling books in the series. And I was also happy to publish our 25th anniversary booklet, which is around and is very popular.
Now, with this whole weekend of festivities, what are you hoping will be accomplished, and what are you hoping the residents will respond to?
Civic pride. I want them to be proud of their city, to know the background of the city. They don't have to know it in depth, but as long as they have a little understanding of the history and how much effort all of these people, some of them here tonight, put into forming the city and building it when it was a fledgling little city from the ground up, if they have a greater appreciation of that, I think they'll take more pride in their city and they'll be happy. This whole center started, you have to go back to 1999 when the city purchased this land. And before that, of course, we were renting a city hall. It was an old office building on Moreau Road and Las Virgenes Road. So in 1999, we purchased this Civic Center site, and it was one of our better acquisitions, in my opinion, having signed the document that, as the mayor back then, I can say that. It was a great deal that we had when we had the Calabasas Park Center divided into the commons, the Calabasas Park Center office buildings, a hotel, and we purchased this site. So it was a four-way deal. And it took a long time to build the Civic Center. We got a grant for our library building. We had many renditions of the Civic Center. And so it wasn't until 2008 that we actually had the grand opening of our Civic Center. So this building, as long as you think it took, was a relatively quick fix for the City Council that likes to deliberate over things. But more importantly, we always had a vision for having a third building on this site. And that third building, I'm going to tell you some interesting ideas the council had that were real ideas that actually had plans and were really discussed and debated. And at one time it was going to be retail. There was going to be a Kinko's. There was going to be a sandwich shop in here. There was going to be a postal annex office in here. That wouldn't have been a bad idea considering some of the services and the ingress and egress in that post office, but imagine those things. And then it was going to be a theater arts building for a long time. So none of those things came to pass. Some of the other ideas, and you probably remember these actual drawings that were rendered, we were going to have, this was going to be a building, but there was going to be a subterranean parking lot below because we didn't have enough parking in the area. Then there was a rendition where it was going to be on stilts so that the parking could be below, but that was too expensive and we, So we still have all that in our archives, but I'll tell you, of all the things that we discussed and debated, I can't think of anything better than what we have today, which is a senior center. That is far and away the best use of this land, and it wouldn't have happened but for several community members coming forward and insisting and telling the council that they wanted to have a senior center. And I remember Carol Davis telling us, we don't have all the time in the world, so build it quickly. I'm not sure what she meant by that, but She said it. But as I said, it went relatively quickly, and Jeff Rubin, Maureen Tamori, Tony Corrales, thank you for all your support and guidance, and thank you to the seniors who volunteered so much of your time in making this happen and putting appropriate pressure on the council.
My name is Sue Somberg.
And my name is Carol Davis.
We are
The co-founders of the Savvy Seniors.
When we were seniors in high school, we thought it was a very big deal.
When we were seniors in college, we thought we would change the world.
Sadly, we soon realized we weren't big deals.
Nor did we change the world.
But now that we are Savvy Seniors and are speaking today representing a community of 50 plus, we finally are a big deal.
Just look. All of this couldn't have been accomplished alone. It was accomplished with the cooperative efforts of the Calabasas City Council, the Calabasas City staff, the help of dozens of seniors, and most especially, the Senior Advisory Board.
Tell us a little bit about the process of starting and all the way through here to the senior center opening.
Well, Sue had an idea of a senior program, but we had no building to hold it in, so we've been holding it in parks and so on. And we petitioned the City Council and the Parks, Recreation, Education Commission, and they were very receptive. And 4.5 years later, it's sort of like giving birth. It's painful sometimes, but it's worth it.
Now, tell me a little bit about the programs that Savvy Seniors are going to implement here in the new senior center.
You're talking about the new programs? I don't have a list of those yet, but we're always adding new programs. Today I just found out we're adding an art seminar, which should be a photo seminar. Teachers going to come in, give us assignments for photographs, and then come back a couple of weeks and they'll gather again. We have a new kitchen, so we have hired a chef who will come and do demonstrations, and she's very enthusiastic. I think that'll be a great class. We've had canasta, but it's been very popular. We're adding more, and it's just going to be a very exciting session. This whole thing has been put together in record time. I think partly it's been being at the right place at the right time. The city was very receptive and wonderful to work with.
Well, it's about the right place, the right time, and having the right people coming in and really pushing for the programs that they believe in. Now, this is the art room, and can you just tell me a little quickly about some of the art that you're planning to do here and what's behind us?
There are classes in watercolor, oil, acrylic, and we have wonderful teachers, and we probably will have some free time to gather together to paint. We have some of the teachers work here with us, and all the rest of the students work. And people that thought they couldn't paint are doing great.
Well, that's amazing, and thank you for your contribution to make this place happen.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We have a new home where seniors can congregate, learn, cry, laugh, play, and discover new things. We're reinventing ourselves and giving back to our community, making new friends and exploring new hobbies.
This is it, the moment we've all been waiting for, the ribbon cutting ceremony for the brand new senior center. It is finally coming to completion. How does that feel?
It feels awesome. I mean, the community, they came out today and just supported it like I've never seen before. And, that was the excitement that I got today. I mean, you say it's, my baby. I mean, all staff worked so hard on this and the committees that were put together. But seeing the smiling faces as people, walk through the door and just, that did it for me. I mean, just seeing that and hearing the comments and this joy.
How does it feel to see this actually open and come to fruition?
It's really amazing to see, and so amazing to see so many community members here and people bringing their grandchildren. So you really see the multi-generational effect of our community, and it's just really a wonderful event.
So Edward is a member of the senior task force and a big part of planning out this sports room. So what are your hopes for this room?
Well, this room is a great opportunity for people to meet, get together under different circumstances, little sports minded. We have a pool table which can convert to a ping pong table. We can all demonstrate our skills, and as well as socializing, getting to know each other and intermingle with each other, and that's the purpose of it. And we also have television, so those people that want to come by during the day or the early evening and watch a sport event together, share the camaraderie and the rooting of it for their favorite team, we can all do it together and share it.
Now, this room and this project are all very near and dear to your heart. How does it feel to see the ribbon being cut, doors being open, and people starting to walk in?
It is incredible. I mean, today is it's been many, many years coming. I mean, we've had so many people involved, so many active adult engaged seniors, and it's been a passion of mine working on the adult senior task force with so many great people, and looking weekly at what a room would look like, debating, talking to the public about whether or not this was even going to be one of the rooms. So it is a fantastic opportunity for our city, and personally I'm very proud.
Do you feel like having this will up the Savvy Seniors program quite a bit and give the seniors more to do in the community?
I think it will, and I also just think it's wonderful for them to have a home and to be a part of the Civic Center, and just the excitement around it, and the fact that people are so excited to utilize this building and be a part of the community.
You were very involved in the Senior Center. What does this day mean to you?
This day, it was so long overdue, and it's so nice to see, residents and the community come together and say this is what we need in our city. So it was very exciting going through the process and approving different things, and then to actually see what the dirt shovel that you did turned out to be. So it's amazing.
Now, what were some of the big obstacles that you had to overcome in creating this?
Well, the biggest one was making sure we had the funding. Secondly, the community approval of a building such as this versus the alternatives that were discussed and mentioned today at the opening, among other things. And then once we set forward, then the details started. So it really came down to a community effort, a city doing an incredible job, the staff, city manager, Jeff Rubin, Pankow, everyone involved getting this built on time.
Did it turn out to be what you thought when you were working on it back in the day?
It actually turned out a lot nicer. It's like a really high-class building, and it's wonderful. So residents, come on out, become members, because this is what all your hard work and your tax dollars go to.
Talk to me a little bit about the process of creating the Senior Center. What were some of the best parts, and what were some of the biggest challenges?
The best parts, I think, was working, with collaboration with the Senior Center Task Force, and working, very closely with the city manager and the community development director. We all have, when you put a big group together, I mean, that's the downfall sometimes too, is everybody has such varying opinions on what they'd like to see, and whether we're looking for the active seniors, which has been our focus, or you're looking more towards seniors when later on in life, in their mid 70s, 80s, 90s, and we did go for that active center. The challenge was, we had to make this look just like City Hall, like this building was always here. So the outside is a replica of what you see at the Civic Center and the library. And inside, obviously, we couldn't do some of those amazing finishes that we have in the other two buildings. But when you look at the furniture and some of the accents that we put in, that really made it that richness feel. And we strove to make it a home feel. So when people walk in, it's almost like being in their home. It's 9,500 square feet, but it doesn't give you that overbearing feeling that you're in this, huge, ginormous facility that you can't get around. And so I think that is a huge benefit.
What's your favorite part of the Senior Center?
My favorite part of the Senior Center is I love the art room. I think that was really great, and I was up there and people were showing me the work that they had done and seeing their grandchildren admire it. That was something really special.
Debbie Decker is from the West Valley Food Pantry, and today we're raising funds and raising donations for the food pantry. What are you hoping that they'll accomplish today?
Well, first of all, that the people who are senior citizens, since we're doing this at the Senior Citizen Center, that the seniors will actually find the West Valley Food Pantry because many of them are in need. They are house rich and cash poor, and so they have a place to live, they have clothes on their back, but paying for medication, paying for their electric bills, paying for the car, and their taxes takes all of their cash. So we are there at the West Valley Food Pantry to help them make stretch that insignificant dollar that they have to live on.
How does this weekend turn out for you, and how do you feel about it?
Turns out great. You know, we've had a huge crowd at every one of our events so far, and let me tell you, we wanted to include something for everybody, so we thought we'd get students involved with a food drive, and Fred and I were on the committee, and we decided that that would be the best way to serve the community.
Are you hoping they'll bring in a lot, and what else can they do to bring in more?
Well, the food is always a priority for us because that is what we do. We're also hoping that the citizens of, especially Calabasas, will bring in school supplies. We have every year a backpack giveaway, and so the school supplies, which we provide for about 400 children, we fill backpacks for everything that they can conceivably need to help those who are in poverty start their school year with everything that they need in order to make a success of their life and have a good education. They're just like everyone else, and they'll have a backpack, and we need all of that stuff that goes in it. The pens, the pencils, the paper, the filler paper, markers, highlighters, crayons for the little ones. All of that is what we need right now.
So Piper, what inspired the Girl Scouts to get involved in this?
We like to help our community and spend time together volunteering, and it's really fun, so we enjoy doing it.
So what kind of items should people be bringing here today?
Like canned foods, like things that the homeless can take, like granola bars and things like that.
That sounds excellent. And can you tell me a little bit about how many people you think are coming out today and what you're going to do with the food when they come?
To be honest, we don't exactly really know how many people are coming. I was kind of expecting a bigger turnout, but so far what we have isn't exactly what we expected. What I'm hoping people do with the food is that at least we even get food so we can put it in the boxes and start shipping them.
Does it feel good to be able to help your community in that way?
Yeah, it does. It really does feel good.
The West Valley Food Pantry is online. Our website is West Valley Food Pantry, all one word, .org, and so they can donate online. They can always mail a check. We are located in Woodland Hills, and all of that information is online.
What are you donating?
Oh, just some food for the people, some cereal and bread.
And chocolate sauce, I see. I like that.
You other things.
Come on in. Go ahead. Give your donation. Yeah. Watch out. They're going to steal some of it.
And then you get a pin for donating.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming and donating.
Thank you.
So, Abigail, what troop are you from?
I am from Troop 7546. Yeah, we're Calabasas.
And what are you doing here today?
Today we're collecting food, school supplies, really anything that could help someone who's in need. And at the end of the day, we're going to donate it to the West Valley Food Pantry.
Have you had a lot of people come by so far?
Yeah, so far we've had all kinds of food. We've had binders, pencils, just a lot of great stuff.
And are you hoping that the community will come out and give a ton of food and help the homeless?
Yeah, definitely. Anything is really helpful. And you can donate online, which is awesome. So.
Excellent. Thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
How does it feel to see all of these young boys and girls out here supporting the community?
It feels great. You know, we are so blessed here in Calabasas, but it's still important for us to think about others in our community that do suffer from poverty and hunger and homelessness. So as part of our celebration of 25 great years, to remember that and participate in the West Valley Food Pantry program with these great kids is really something special.
There's only one way to wrap up this incredible party weekend, a concert by the lake with the cool band Boogie Nights. Tell me a little bit about what the opening of the Senior Center means to you.
Oh, it's terrific. We have a very large and growing aging population here in Calabasas, across America, and we now have a place where they can come and socialize and have a great time and participate in government. It's wonderful.
Now, you've been a very big part of making this happen, so how does it feel to see it all come to fruition?
I have been working on senior issues for a very long time, and this is absolutely the peak of a lot of effort by a lot of people, especially seniors, and I couldn't be prouder.
Now, this weekend has been quite the party. We've been all over the place, and we're wrapping tonight with a big party by the lake with Boogie Nights. Are you going to boogie the night away?
Well, after I cut the cake and serve it to these hundreds and hundreds of people, I will boogie the night away.
Well, as you can see, this was quite the party weekend. I'm Laura Nickerson, and thank you for joining me on this CTV special on the opening of the Senior Center and the 25th anniversary celebration. Oh, congratulations, Calabasas. You don't look a day over 24.
Happy 25th birthday, Calabasas! Happy birthday, Calabasas!
Happy birthday, Calabasas!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Calabasas! 25.
Happy birthday, Calabasas. 25 years is some magnificent accomplishment.
Happy birthday, Calabasas.
Happy birthday, Calabasas!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cassis. Happy birthday to you.
All right, why don't you guys blow the candles out? Don't spit on it.
Everybody make a wish.